Hello, fellow Whovians. Welcome to the Legend of the Traveling Tardis, and I have a question for you. Is there a doctor in the house?
I'm a doctor, and the one you're expecting. This is Paul McGann, the 8th Doctor. This is the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, the 100th episode.
But you're not here for the five of us. You're here for this gentleman right here, the wonderful and talented, the 8th Doctor. You know him so well. I know him as that guy that fought the Three Musketeers in that Disney film. Mr. Paul McGann. Mr. Paul McGann, welcome aboard there. How you doing there? Welcome to the show.
It ain't so early for me. It's kind of lunchtime here. I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah. Sorry to get you all up so early.
No, this is an honor. I know the 5-hour difference is miserable.
I tell you, it's an honor to be on the 100th episode.
But you've been appearing a lot on social medias now. How does that feel? At least it gives you the outlet, Paul, to interact with people you haven't talked to in a long time. Because I saw you on GalaxyCon and you were hosted by good morning, Billy Bonnet Hoovian. You were hosted by my friend Patty Hawkins, who's actually a friend of mine down here in Florida. And I
always imagine everybody knows each other anyway. Everyone in North America knows each other. You know, I was.
Do you think that's something that you would consider going on to if for a while we have to continue to stay locked down?
Permesso.
That was an important call too. I
just get rid.
No, that's fine then.
Oh, he's disappeared.
Oh, you're alive.
He's back.
There he is.
I can guarantee you that won't have been my agent.
Oh,
with work. He says in a downbeat way. What we're talking about, the online conventions, I'm really glad of them. And who wouldn't be? You know, they've and as I say, I think they'll certainly for the next year or two there'll be, and even when we're back traveling, I think they're here to stay. I think there's going to be, and there should be, perhaps a mixture of both. You know, we'll certainly meet in real places, in real venues, in real rooms, but we'll also do this kind of thing. Because the technology is here. You know, we're all getting sort of quite good at it, and it more than fills in the gap. It's really good. It's useful. I've really enjoyed it so far. I didn't think I would, and I'm glad, and I am. I like it. We need to contact each other. We need to meet, and this is a hoot. You know, and like you say, here you are. You're doing your 100th show, and we can do this. What an age we live in. We should be thankful.
Paul, well, you can't. Paul, still can't see us, right? No,
I can hear you.
I wonder if a different browser would popped up and minimized this.
It's possible. Yeah, that might be a possibility. We can fix that a little bit later. We're actually holding up all of our merchandise, Paul McGann related in some form of fashion for all to see. Our friends Mark and Dave, they're holding up the Doctor Who books. They both have the same book. Which book is that, Dave? Mark?
That's the role-playing game. This is it was still branded as Adventures in Time and Space, but this is the 8th Doctor source book from Cubicle 7. So it's an entire game book of Paul's adventures.
Dave, Mark just went up to you. His is signed by somebody.
It's signed by Paul.
Signed by Paul. So
you've been continuing the 8th Doctor's adventures online. I'm sorry, not online, but in audio format in Big Finish there. What has been your most enjoyable experience with Big Finish?
Well, you mean across the years?
Yeah.
Well, recently.
And you got to work with your son Jake in a couple of the
other that was years back, and because that was a thrill.
Yeah.
And of course, and in the story, what was it? The Unearthly Child, wasn't it? In the story, of course, we were related, or at least it wasn't either. I'm confused myself now, but he was the grandchild.
I believe Jake plays your great-great-grandson because he's the son of Susan. Susan has a child.
Yeah.
And I won't go into it too much, but you got to listen to the audios because once the Doctor finds out he has a great-great-grandson, he's wondering if he's human or Time Lord.
And that's enough. You don't need to tell them.
No more. I'm not even going to go further than that.
That's enough. But one of the elements I like about that, even now talking about it and thinking about it, it reminds me of the episodes I watched as a child on TV, and knowing that the Doctor had a family. There were relations, and they spoke of them, and I kind of like that. It's because it's not something that's emphasized much these days, but so it was a kind of throwback, and I like that. And of course, Jake was there in his first gig as an actor, and he was wonderful. He was wonderful, but just don't tell him I said so, because he gets
mum's the word on that one.
A bit bashful, but no, I love that. But so that was a real highlight. I think as well, what you just said about spoiling stories that we made, say, 20 years ago.
Yeah,
it's possible because I noticed, particularly after the few years back when the 50th anniversary film went out, around that time, because it was around this time of year, wasn't it? October, November. And that's when there was a real boom, a real pickup, particularly in North America with the Big Finish audios. It was almost as if a collective penny dropped, and suddenly people really got into them. Of course, there's such a backlog that, as you've just described, there are people still. And I know when we meet, often fans go, well, given that there's 20 odd years of it, where do I start? Where would you start? Would you start in the middle? Would you go back to the beginning? Would you? And some people they're trying to go from, 2001, 2002. And I mean, when you think I personally, we all do them. Personally, I've done 200 plus, so there's quite a few to choose from.
Technically, you're the longest running serving Doctor, even out doing Tom Baker now. Just for the audio.
Is that right?
On the audios, I think somebody had mentioned that you had done more stories than any other Doctor.
I'll take that.
Just how much content is out there.
I don't think I'll ever stop doing the audio work, because it's and particularly where the 8th Doctor is concerned. That's where he lives. He doesn't. Well, sure, it'd be wonderful if, at the behest of Jodie Whittaker, particularly, I was able to certainly be invited back and join in. That would be fantastic. I'd drop everything, but it'd be great to be back on screen. But when you think the 8th, aggregately, I've been on screen as the 8th Doctor for about 2 hours. That's it.
An
hour and a half. That's it.
A question,
but all of these, it's the 8th Doctor really is it's an audio Doctor. Really, now it's just worked out that way. Yeah, like I said, we start a new box set in a few weeks, so it goes on. We carry on. Incidentally, I was going to tell you the title of the next box set, and it's called "The End of the Beginning." That's a good title.
Yep.
The End of the Beginning. What does that mean? Anything to you? If you hear that phrase, "the end of the beginning," what does it make you think of? The reason I ask is because in England, it usually makes people think of Winston Churchill. Now, the Allies, including the United States, who are now in the war, win their first decisive battles against the Axis. Blah. Churchill says to the British people on a radio broadcast, he's while he's glad to announce the first victory of the whole war against the Axis powers, he says, "Don't think that it's the beginning of the end, but the end of the beginning." This is where it comes from.
Okay.
There you go, for you history buffs out there. So, like I say, we tend to get everything through a sort of Churchillian funnel here. I'm just saying. It's, love to everybody. Stay safe. Yes. They're the only words that matter. Stay safe. Look after each other, and till we meet again properly, which I look forward to enormously. And one day this will be over, and we can hopefully laugh about most of these days. But I look forward to that immensely. But in the meantime, honestly, stay safe. One love. Mwah.